Well, hello, team. Welcome to our another stream. I'm your host and your financial analyst, Akash Malhotra. My name is Akash Malhotra, and I'll be your financial analyst for today. Welcome you to our next stream. I'm really happy to see you again once in a week, and I have a lot of things that I wanted to discuss with you. What we are seeing in the financial market is one of the great moments. We can see this huge impulsive candle has happened. Let me know in the comment section how many of you know what really has happened and what is happening in the financial market. If you are able to guess it correctly, I will be like more than happy to see like these majority of the clients do believe that these kind of data are available and we'll try to work upon that as well. So welcome once again to the stream, guys. Let's wait for some clients to join our stream and we'll be having a live conversation on the different topics. We'll be trying to work out different trading strategies for today. As you know, the name of the stream is live trading on the confrontation strategy. Today's session is very close to one of my favorite session. So the reason behind that is if you watch it the market, I want you to go ahead and candle switch the graph to a minute duration. Watch any currency associated with USD. You will see there is a big surge impulsive candle which started moving into the downward direction. There is a reason behind that. And we'll be talking about that specifically into our live session. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question regarding anything at all. I will try to assist you the best possible extent from mine. We'll be taking some live trades in my trading account. At the same time, if you have any question, if anything at all which is bothering you guys, let me know in the comment section. I'll make sure that I answer your question effectively well and I'll try to answer them as honestly as possible from my end. I majority of the time being very happy to meet all of you guys because this is the only way by which we can have a live conversation and at the same time we'll be having some live trades as well. So yeah, your comments are highly welcome. Okay, we have one good comment. Mr. Santosh ji said hello. Hello, Santosh ji. Welcome to the stream. Good evening, sir. A warm good evening to you. So today's stream will be conducted into English language. As we know, every week there are different analogies or different analysts who conducts this webinar on the different languages, which is basically audible to the whole clients. Unfortunately, there are some comments, but I'm not able to read, sir. Unfortunately, I can have this conversation with you only in the English language. Please let me know in the comment section which language do you prefer more in trading, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Mr. Santosh ji said, "How are you, sir?" I'm doing great, Santosh ji, and I'm very happy to see you once again. I love those traders who are new and have eagerness and willingness to learn about trading, and that is what our overall objective has been. So I've been working in Olymptrade from last more than 5 years. I have seen a lot of clients do make money in the financial market, but some sort of decisions that we took goes for the toss. So there is absolutely nothing to worry about because financial market can work up in our advantages and sometimes it really doesn't. Mr. Santosh ji said, I am fine, enjoy farmhouse. Acha, you're enjoying farmhouse. Welcome. Nice, Mr. Santosh. So, what really happened, guys? Let me just give you a little brief idea about what really happened. If you have any question, feel free to ask me the question into the comment section. I'll be replying to your all concern, may it be regarding like the financial market, the fundamental analysis, technical analysis. Right now, one of the major important news event really has happened, and we call this analysis as the fundamental analysis, the part of the fundamental analysis. Now, I want you to go ahead and open any specific asset which consisting of USD, right? So let me just write down USD, any pair associated with USD. You can name any pair associated with USD. So let's just check USD CAD, right? Exactly at 6, we see one of the biggest downfall in the candle. It is associated with all the candles. Let me tell you guys, it is associated with all the candles. So you may call USD CAD, USD CHF, USD JPY, everything shattered into the downward direction exactly at 6 o'clock. Now, what really has happened? Okay, so we have one comment. Unfortunately, sir, I'm unable to read your name. In the event of forex trading, if possible. Acha, are you asking about regarding the forex trade? I'll give you some good trading advice for today as well. We have very good advice in specifically regarding forex, guys. So yeah, I was. Let's get back to the question that here. Whatever you see exactly at 6, you see one of the red candle which was falling. Now the reason behind that is today non-farm payroll data has been released, and some of you probably know, some of you might not. Non-farm payroll is one of the biggest data which has been released in US. This data is more than 3,40,000 companies do participate in this data, and because of that, we can see variation in entire market. This is not only associated with any currency. You can select any pair. Let's just select, if you watch gold, you will see exactly at 6 the gold first of all fall down and then started rising. If you'll see exactly at 6. So the reason behind that is the non-farm payroll. Every currency associated with USD highly hampers its performance. Even if the currency is not associated with USD, we can see one of the biggest candle appearing up here. So the reason behind that is the non-farm payroll. So yeah, this is one of the my favorite events. And if you want to see, I just made I think more than, I believe, $100 profit on this. So as soon as I watched this data, this today's data was turned out to be the non-farm payroll exactly at 6. While watching this data, I found out the unemployment rate turns out to be equal, which is around 4.2%. For all those clients who do not know, please let me know in the comment section that you are willing to learn about the fundamental analysis. In the next session, I'll definitely have a session on that. It basically depend upon you guys as well. Mr. Nitin ji said, "Hi sir, I'm happy to joining this session because I want to focus on trading with rules and regulation. Welcome to the stream. All of you, welcome to the stream. Let me know in the comment section which are your major favorite assets, and do you know what non-farm payroll is? I wanted to know how many of you guys do know about the non-farm payroll. I can also guide you about how basically it work and why did I took the trade in downward direction. Acha, Mr. Sarang ji had a very good question. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Sarang. Mr. Sarang ji said, "Sir, do you trade on Saturday and Sunday?" Sir, it's personal choice. It depends from person to person. I really don't take trades on Saturday and Sunday. I consider these as holidays. I spend majority of the time in doing other things. I love reading, so I read books. There are a lot of books that I am fascinated about, so I do read them in my mean time. Unfortunately, Saturday, Sundays are not my trading days, but yeah, you can trade. So, like, it basically depends from choice to choice. I majority of the time try to make money from Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday day I consider as non trading days. Mr. Deepak ji said, "Hey, hello Deepak ji, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream." So yeah, I was about to tell you why I take the trade in downward direction. Exactly at 6, guys. Now watch the candle. Exactly at 6 o'clock, if you watch below the candle, there is an existing time written in here. So the non-farm payroll was released. Now, this was very fascinating because in this week, I was having conversations with a lot of my clients, and I told them that this week there's a good chances for USD to fall down. This is what I told. After watching yesterday's ADP non-farm payroll, I was very sure that USD will be falling. So the people who took the trade in upward direction basically lost the amount. And if you'll see, I open up the trade in Forex using 300 as a leverage. And if you'll see, if you watch it closely, I just hold the position for around 5 seconds, right? So 6:29 is the time on which I open the trade, and around 6:34 I close the trade. So I think around 6 seconds, 5 to 6 seconds, I open up the trade, and I ended up making $88 profit in here. And there is another line of profit if you'll see. I was able to make like around $58 profit in here just within less than a minute. If you'll see, less than a minute, we were able to make around 140 or around $140 profit is what we were able to make. So this was a fantastic opportunity. And guys, I would highly urge you, if you are new in trading, the very first thing that you have to learn about, there are two ways that basically every traders do trade. The first way of understanding market, we call it as technical analysis. And the second one, we call it as fundamental analysis. Now, fundamental analysis is one of my favorite way of trading, because here, within short period, we can make humongous amount of money. If you can see, I was able to make around 150 dollars profit within less than a minute. $150 profit. And this is not the only trade that I have taken. I also had taken my trade on this, right? Okay, so once the market tumbled down, I took the trade in upward direction. If you'll see, this is, we call it as a recovery trade. I was very sure that the market will recover itself considerably, because there was a 2 yen drop from 144 to around 142, which is a very good psychological level for buying. And that is the reason why we bought around that price level. So 5,000 rupees is what I have invested. If you'll see, I catch the candle in the very bottom, make the money and left the market, rather than staying in the market for the longer duration, because this is this way of trading, we call it as uh, scalping is the way on which you basically make money and leave the market, rather than staying in the market for the longer course. um, Mr. Deepak ji said, I lost $12 because of NFP. I'm very sorry to hear about it, Deepak ji. How can one lose amount in NFP? NFP is so easy to read, so easy to read. And if you know how to work up with this data, I basically so what I did, I have created a table. This table consisting of various variations about the non-farm payroll and how it will impact the market. And that is what exactly how the market turned out to be. It exactly behaved the way that I analyzed it to be. So guys, if you have, let me know in the comment section how many of you are having advanced status or expert status. I would highly urge you to gain expert status, because we as a managers are working 24 by 7 majority of the time. Uh, Trying to help you to the best possible extent. The support team is actually working. So we as a financial analyst, our objective is to help and reach as many clients as possible, and to teach them how trading basically works. Now, Olymptrade has taken an initiative to give you a free of cost consultation for the traders who are having advanced and expert status. Now, if you have advanced status, you can have one session in a month, and if you are having expert status, you can have 4 sessions in the month. And these are excellent ways to understand market. Not only one session, just join one session and you will get to know how effectively the financial market really works, and how we will be able to make money. So our objective is to find loopholes in the financial market, right? So what would be the trading ideas, what sort of different ways that we can trade, and we'll try to optimize our trading based on the existing market. So that is there. Okay, if you remember guys, while having conversation with you, I also took one trade, and that is on, I think, not on this account, but I believe on this account. And yeah, it's profitable. We took the trade on Asia Composite Index. I finally found out a little momentum into the downward direction. I closed the trade, and as soon as the trade has been closed, the market started rising up. So it happens, but we are able to maintain a good accuracy for today, around 65%. It is what we basically require. Minimum 55% baseline profit margin is required, but we are able to achieve around 65%. So yeah, nothing to worry. For today, I'll be teaching you one of the easiest way of working with the strategy. This strategy I'm working on would be from a very long time, and I'm trying to work up on the strategy based on the different fundamentals. So I'll treat you how to work up with the strategy. In the meantime, while having the conversation, if I find the signal, I'll trade there. So here, the candle is way far from this trend line. And do we have, okay, so we have one resistance line in here. Okay. And from the candle behavior, what I'm observing, the market is trying to push itself into the downward direction from this level of resistance, from this particular level of resistance. What I'm highly urge, because I still strongly believe that the market will rise. Let's do a trade. I have one of the risk trades around $20. I'll try to take the trade for around 3 minutes into the upward direction, because I strongly believe that the market will be able to break this line, but it also based on the existing market situation. And guys, please do not try to copy my trades. While copying my trades, I'm taking the risk on my trading account. If you try to copy my trades, the YouTube stream has been basically delayed from any time between 30 seconds to a minute duration. So copying my trade, your trade can go for the toss. So yeah, be careful about that. Do not copy my trade. Mr. Nitinji said, can you suggest if I will select the 1 minute chart, then how much time frame we will select? Oh, that's a very good question. Thank you very much for asking this question, Mr. Nitin. So what really happens once you observe the graph? So it basically depends upon how you basically observe it, right? So suppose if you watch the graph for a minute duration, if you select the time duration for a minute, our closing time can be any time between couple of candles or three candles. So suppose if I'm watching the graph for a minute duration, my trading time should be double or triple of the existing candle viewing period. So if suppose if I'm watching the graph for a minute duration, I'll take the trade for 2 to 3 minutes. Now that is exactly how it goes with the 5 minutes duration or 2 minutes duration as well. If I'm watching the graph for 2 minutes duration, my trading time anytime between 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes can be there. So whatever time margin that you select, whatever time margin may it be, you select the time and you trade higher than the candle viewing time, is what I mean to say. Mr. Nitin ji said, "I'm happy to work with you. I'm glad as well. So thank you very much, Mr. Nitin. That's so polite of you and so nice of you. Thank you very much for your kind words. So yeah, let's begin our trading journey. Let's try to find out some loopholes in the financial market and try to take advantage of the same situations. Let's begin our conversation. So, guys, I want you to have a very closer look on the existing market situation because whatever the price that has been risen, it is because of the non-farm payroll, as I told you in the beginning of this conversation. And here, based on these analytics, we will be able to maximize our potential profitability. Let me know in the comment section how many of you want to know about fundamental analysis, and I'll try to teach you into the next session. It basically depends upon number of your votes. If your votes are aligned on the same, I would love to take the trade on the same. We took the trade, we took the risk, and the best thing is we have used the risk-free trade. Even if the trade goes for the toss, that is completely fine because we will not be in the any non-profitable state. We still will be in the profitable state. So the best thing about the risk-free trade is, you can even if the trade goes for the toss or the non-profitable. Okay, okay. I wish we were able to catch the signal at this moment. It's a very strong downtrend. So for guys, all of you, I have a very good news for you. Let me just first of all tell you about that. So I want you to have a very closer look on the price of Brent for the time being. And here, I want you to switch the graph to 1 day. As soon as you switch the graph to a day, you will find out Brent has an excellent level. If you'll see, I just have market in here. It has an excellent support level around the price level of $71 per barrel. $71 per barrel. Now, this would act as an excellent entry point for the buying. For all the traders, if you are new in trading, guys, take this or you can test this theory in your demo account. You can select the smallest value of leverage, select the smallest value of leverage, and take the trade in upward direction. Because this is the same trade that I've taken in my INR account. Let me just show you that. And I was able to make in last couple of days more than $1,000 on the same idea because I still strongly believe that the value of Brent will be keep on increasing. So this is one trade that I have taken on of around 50,000 rupees is what I have invested. And if you'll see, this is very close to the support line. Let me just zoom out for you. One, two, three, four, five, six, and seven. So around seven candles. It is a very strong level of support. This is a day candle, so that means it indicates a very strong level. Now, based on this level, there is a high chances for Brent to rise. Guys, if you want to test this theory out, you can go ahead on the demo account and try out by yourself. You'll be happy to find out the same. And there is second news from me. Now, also want you to have a very closer look on Bitcoin because this is what I've been having a conversation with the clients. Now, Bitcoin basically fall to $55 per barrel, 55,000 level, right? This is one level of support, and there is another level of support for the Bitcoin to be around 50,000. So, in order to keep my trade safe, I again in this situation went with the smallest value of multiplier, if you will see, for the Bitcoin. And here, I'm just staying for the market to follow up trend. Now, there is a very good news for you guys. because this time the non-farm payroll data was negative, so there is absolutely good chances for Fed to decrease the interest rate. Now, if Fed decrease the interest rate, that means there will be a good chance for the gold to rise and for the Bitcoin to rise. So this is an excellent point. Starting from today till 18th of this month, there is a good chances for Bitcoin and gold to rise because there is a good chances for market for the Fed to increase the interest rate decision. This is just based on the news that I have heard and read on the different sources. Uh, $50 speed is been said by someone. Sir, I wish that could have been possible. I would love to send you the money, but unfortunately, it's not possible. But yeah, you can practice in your demo account. So there is absolutely nothing to worry on that part. Here we could have taken the trade. Let me just use risk-free trades of around $50 for 3 minutes duration because the trend is very strong. But when the trend is very strong, never go against the trend. So this is the trade that we have taken. We have another risk-free trades of around $50 we have taken, and we are waiting for the market to follow the same trend. And it's following. Let's wait. So that was a good signal, Mr. Santoshi. Commodity index 10 minutes down possible. It can possible for the market to follow 2, 3 more minutes into the downward direction. I'm sorry, I read your comment late. I'm very sorry about that. Mr. Shaiban Rana said, let's trade. Sure, sir. Let's take trade. So let me know in the comment section how many of you guys have advanced or expert status, because from these I'll teach you how to craft the manual trading strategy for today. And there's a trick for you. If the series of red candle or green candle happens to be there, there are good chances for the market to follow the same direction trend, right? But make sure there should be no support or resistance level very close to that point. And here we can see this level of support is there. So therefore market is rising up, but we'll wait for the trade to close absolutely because we have given 3 more minutes for the trade to close. Mr. Wasim G said, I have advanced it. Mr. Wasim, welcome. Now, for the advanced status, you can have one session in a month with the financial analyst. So yeah, and apart from that, you will have an access to a lot of trading strategy. Our product team are working very hard. So they basically have crafted all these trading strategies for you guys. Mr. Shaiban Rana said, sir, please trade on Euro and GBP. I would love to take trade, but that would be based on the signal, no, Mr. Rana. And we are not seeing any signals in there. If we select any pair on Euro or GBP, so euro moved down, and here we can see the value of USD is rising. That means euro must be falling down. I also wanted to check the price of USD JPY at the same price. Just a second. Now USD JPY is falling. That means USD is correcting itself, and that means the price of euro must be increasing. Let me just see euro USD. It's been decreasing with the green candle. So that means here the momentum can stay. Okay, according to you, sir, let's try to take the trade on here. I'm not very sure because this is the market is already pushing itself into the downward direction. So this is the level at which it can have the support level. I wanted to switch to 1 minute's duration to see what really happening. Okay, so I'm taking like around $12.5 based on Mr. Rana just said. But here the trade would be very risky because in this situation, this is a very good level of support which we are seeing in here. But let's wait. Mr. Santosh Parihar ji said, sir, I want investment in Forex. Please, some help me. I have already given one of the good entry points. It is completely depend upon you whether you wish to take the trade on the same or not. So, so in this situation, let me just see. I think we have to check it. Okay, so there are two signals which I have. There's a good probability for market to rise. That is on the Bitcoin, correct? The value of Bitcoin can rise from this moment onwards. If you want to go ahead and invest some capitals, you can take the trade in your demo account and see the price variation there. What is the existing trade showing us to us? We haven't used any strategy yet. So this is completely based on the technical analysis part. Here the continuous trend is into the downward direction. Even if we draw a trend line in here, and that is why we have given an extra minute for the market to tumble down or to follow, and we'll wait for the candle to whether it would be sticking to its existing position or not. Okay, so it is working out. Let's wait for it to close. Let's find some more signals. I think we had some new comments there. Uh, okay, so Santoshji, I think I have answered your question. Okay, so there's a scalping can happen, but I want to okay. So here we were little late to open up the trade because this candle has crossed this specific line. Now it is pushing itself into the downward dash. So this is a trend line. One, two, three, four trend lines has been drawn, and that is the reason why we took the trade. But I'm not very sure whether for how much duration, because if we could have taken the trade on the red candle itself, the entry could have been more efficient in that situation. But let's wait. I think couple of trades we have taken. Both of them are on the profitable front. Okay, let me just switch the asset and find some more trade signals in there. Guys, let me know in the comment section which trading strategy is your favorite and which has yielded you more profit. So let's continue our conversation regarding with because there are a lot of things happening in the market right now. Let's stick to the main part that we are having the discussion about. So as you can know, the name of the stream is Confrontation Strategy. We'll be working on out on the strategy and we'll try to find out some good trading advices there, some good trading moments there. I think the Euro USD went profitable. What really happens? It was the last second non-profitability. If you'll see, just in the last second, the trade went. I was very sure that the trade will be profitable, but just in the last second, sometimes this really happens, and it's really bothering. But I know it's not in our hand. The market sometimes act very erratically. So this trend line, one, two, three, four, five, six, around six trend was there, and it yielded us the profitability. But I still regret this trade. An early trade. That is why I told you guys, an early entry at this moment could have been more beneficial for us. The later we open up the trade, the higher the chances for the trade to go for the toss. Anyways, as you know, the name of the stream is, and yeah, Santoshi, the second asset is Brent. If you want to test this theory out, go out on Brent and open with 10x in upward direction, and we'll see within a week or two, it has a higher chances to rise. Okay. So, as you know, the name of the stream is Confrontation Strategy. It really doesn't matter if you don't know about the strategy. I'll teach you how this trading strategy really works. We'll try to take some trading in this asset. So you click on this A symbol. We call it as technical analysis symbol, right? And then go to strategies option. And here you will see this confrontation strategy. It is available to all the advanced status client. You click on this confrontation strategy and click on the enable strategy option. Now, in case you do not know how this trading strategy works, we will see this YouTube tutorial. You click on this YouTube tutorial and it will be available there. And since I know the strategy, I'll teach you how it basically works. We click on the enable strategy option and the strategy will be applied automatically. So there is not a single thing that you have changed in the strategy itself. I want to open up a trade on this around 2 minutes. I think let's just switch the graph to around 5 to 10 minutes. And let me just draw a trend line. Based on that, there was a good probability for Euro Composite Index to rise. I hope the market stays the way that we are analyzing it. So this way of trading, we call it as scalping. That means we are holding the line for a very short duration and we'll try to work up with the trend line and support line, whether it really supports or not. So as you can see on my screen, it's a confrontation strategy. Now this confrontation strategy comprises of three things. Now if you do not know how to apply this trading strategy, you can take the screenshot of this. The parabolic has been selected for the default value of 0.02. Bull's power oscillator, which comprises of 13 period. Bear's power oscillator, again it's a default value. And this would be the strategy look like. This would how the strategy will look like to you. Okay. Now, this trading strategy is one of my favorite because sometimes the market can be little volatile, but trading strategy is using this trading strategy is easy to find out the volatility in the market, absolute volatility in the market. So, yeah, let's try to work up on this and let me give you a hint how this trading strategy works. Now, here, what you will see the dot formations, right? See, these dot formations are called as parabolic support and resistance. If the dots are above the candle, if the dots are above the candle, there's a good probability for market to follow a downtrend. And if the dots are below the candle, so there is a good chances for market to rise. Let's look at the last trade that we have taken. Finally, it became profitable. Nice. So using the trend line we did, so we had what I did, I just switched to the higher time duration and draw the trend line. And based on that, I took the trade using the scalping approach. And finally, the trade become profitable. I can see there are almost no comments from a long time. Guys, I hope you are enjoying today's session. Let me know in the comment section you are there. Okay, so let's get back to the strategy once again. Now, this trading strategy has been crafted using these three forms. Dot formation, bull's power, the green wheel indicates upward direction trend, whereas these red bars indicate down direction trend, right? So these are the two ways of analyzing it. Now let's jump into more clarity. If the dots are below the candle, the trend is in upward direction. First thing first. If the dots are above the candle, that means trend is in downward direction. And in what time I should or should not open up the trade? There would be a first reason. If you'll see there's a green red candle formation, it's a sideways trend. So these bars are following exactly in a sideline manner. This is not a very good entry to open up the trade. So in this situation, we'll skip the trading on assets like this. Clear? That would be the very first thing that we need to observe about the market. If there's a continuous dot formation and it's just a sideways trend, we'll skip trading on any asset of your choice. But be very careful. I think we will wait for this line to break these specific lines, and as soon as it does, we'll try to take the trade with a very small amount of around $5. Let's wait. Okay, so these bars, if you'll see, if the bars are rising, let me just tell you the strategy. Bars, if are rising, that is a sign for an uptrend. Right? It's a sign for an uptrend. That means the downward strength has been decreasing. And second, if these red lines are decreasing, that means it's a downtrend. It's just exactly the same way it looks. If the green bars are forming in upward direction and they are continuously increasing, that means the trend is in upward direction. And if the red bars are continuously decreasing into the downward direction, there is a very good chances for the trend to be into the downward direction. These are the two ways to understand the trend and understand the market, right? Okay, let's try to find some signals and work up with the strategy itself. So whenever we want to take trade in any specific direction, may it be anything, uh, just think of this example, right? If the dot is above the candle, that means it's a downtrend. We need confirmation from this bear power oscillator. Now the bear power oscillator will give you quicker signal compared to the bull's power, because bull's power usually shows upward trend and bear's power basically shows the downward trend. Now if the bull power oscillator, if the bear power oscillator is pointing downward direction and it is increasing, that means it's a good chances for the trade to increase into the downward direction. And at the same time, if you'll see this bull's power oscillator come to zero or slightly below zero, So that means there is a probability of market trend to continuation. Now, here in this situation, it's a very tricky situation. Here, see, these bars are pointing us in upward direction, right? So that means the downward trend has been decreasing. Let's try to take the trade for around a minute in upward direction. So this is the wrong trade that we have taken. So the reason behind that is we do not have bar formation below zero, right? The dot formation is above zero. That means it's a downtrend. And in this situation, while just observing this trend and following the support line, we thought that the market will increase. But the market is really not increasing. So the best thing is we have just used $5. We'll wait for the trade to settle down, and then after that, we'll use the martingale approach for the recovery. Absolutely. But remember, we need all of these confirmation: the dot confirmation, the bull's power, and bear power oscillator confirmation. Let's try to find some good signals. I really wanted to invest a considerable amount on this. Okay, so here you will see the dot formation is pointing us in upward direction, right? The bear power oscillator is already pointing us in downward direction, and now this has changed. So let me just look into the last support and resistance level. So bear power oscillator is pointing downward. Here, the dot is above the candle, but the candle is green. We should wait right now. If you'll see, this data is very scramble, right? Some bulls power are pointing downward and upward direction. So this is not the absolute trend that we are looking out for. But anyways, but in case in this situation we want to take the trade, we have to look if whether there is a close support or resistance level lying by. So yes, there is a support and resistance. There is a support level there. Is it able to break this line? No, it really isn't. So we'll skip this asset. So here dot confirmation in downward direction, but the candle is green. The bars is also pointing in rising side on upward direction for the bull. So if we basically are looking out for the positive signals, watch this bull's power oscillator first. If you want to take the trade in upward direction, we need to watch the bull's power oscillator. It should be pointing in upward direction, but here the dot formation is pointing us in downward direction. So there are higher chances for the market to follow a downtrend. So we'll just skip it. We'll need another confirmation from another signal. This could have been an excellent opportunity. You see, at this moment, I want you to have a closer look. So the dot formation was here. On the second dot, we see here, and this bar started increasing. This is an exceptional signal. So the bars are pointing us in upward direction. At the moment, this has close to the zero level. And here at this moment, the bear power oscillator is pointing in upward direction and the bull's power oscillator. Both of them are pointing us in upward direction. We could have taken the trade, but we are a little late to open up a trade on this. Let's try to find some more signals. Guys, let me know in the comment section. Are you finding some good signals? If you do, please let me know. So the dots are pointing in upward direction, but the bars are pointing in downward direction. So these signals are contradictory in nature. So we'll skip it. Yeah. Okay. Let's wait for it. The dot is about to reverse. Yes, it did. But I'm not very sure because the market is already okay. Let's do a down trade here. And if not, we'll hedge our position using one risk-free trades around 2 minutes into the downward direction. So in this situation, what really happening? The dot is above the candle, right? The bars are pointing us in downward direction, and this bear power oscillator is also pointing us in downward direction. So what I did, I opened one trade with $1. I opened one trade, and then in that situation, I open another trade. We call this process as hedging. That means if you're not very comfortable with the existing trade, you can hedge your position. But in that situation, you will increase the expiration time just in case, because this is very close to the support one. So this would be a good call to wait for. As of now, there is not a single trade which I find very effective in nature. The dots are pointing us in downward direction. The bars are not there. Okay, so guys, let me know in the comment section on which asset are you finding out the signals. Because as of now, what we are seeing, this is a trend line. This is a green candle. This one is pointing in an upward direction. Now, if it is possible, I'll show you a little trick on this. I'll just show you a little trick on this because this is how the market react at times. So whenever what really happens, whenever any support or resistance level comes, right? So sometimes market show you the fake reversal, and then it usually follow the downward direction trend, 2 to 3 candles, and that is what I wanted to show you. So here you will see there is a declining trend line. It wanted to rise, but at that very moment, if you see the red candle or consecutive two red candles, in that moment we can take the trade along the trend. Along the trend. That means if the market is pushing itself into the downward direction, we can take the trade in the downward direction itself. Let's wait. Unfortunately, some of the trades are not going well for us. I'm really eager for the best trade to happen, the best signal to happen. So for all the new traders, okay, there is one trend line. Okay, let me just draw a trend line in here. 1, 2, 3 levels. The bull power oscillator is pointing downward direction. Sometimes, guys, remember this: no trading strategy can be 100% accurate. Our objective is to find a very good entry points on which there is a higher probability of profitable at that very moment. Okay, there is this support line, right? It is recovering. I wish we could have catch the signal on the top most. Okay, so here the bars are pointing us in downward direction. Nice. But I hope we are not that late to open up the trade on this. Let me do a trade of around 1 minute and then I'll recover it by placing a trade of a little higher amount into the same direction. 1, 2, 3 levels. So catching the signal at the right moments matters a lot. So here the bar is pointing us in downward direction. This one also pointing us in downward direction. That is the reason why we took the trade in downward direction. Let's wait for the trade to close. So the minute duration we have given, but sometimes Asia composite sometimes act as a very volatile asset. So sometimes it can go for the toss. Plus, I believe this could be a good entry, but unless and until the trade closes. Because I never really take trades on the shorter duration because sometimes when you take trades on the shorter duration, in the last moment or so, the candle can reverse its position. So therefore, the higher the time you select, the higher the chances of trade profitability would be there. Okay, finally. So this is what we call it as a martingale approach. In martingale, I'll show you what really has happened. So here, this is the history of the trade with that we have taken. So one, right, 60, $70, and there is, I think, a couple of more trades here. 60, 70, 75, right? And we call it as, let's just take it like this trade has basically recovered this amount. So we'll consider this 60, 70, and 75. So all these trades that our trade has been profitable. So the single trade has recovered the entire losses that we had. Let's find some more signals. So this is what we call it as martingale approach. Now, what martingale approach is? We basically try to recover our amount on every single trade that we do. So we usually try to double the amount of investment that if we had considerable losses on that. But remember, follow the strategy because following the strategy, the chances of profitability would be on the higher front, guys. So here we see a very good trend line. The market is falling into downward direction, but now let me just tell you the market can trick you in this situation. Let me just open one trade for a minute. So here the strategy is pointing us in upward direction, right? The bars are pointing us in downward direction, and here Based on this trend line is what we have taken the trade. Let me just draw the trend line in here. Okay, I think this is a vertical line which I have drawn. Let me just remove this, draw a trend line. Okay, this one. So here, what we did, we follow the trend line, and the trend line is actually pointing us in downward direction, but whereas here, the dots are pointing us in upward direction. So therefore, taking a trade in the instances like these, our trade can go for the toss. So be very careful about that, because the dots are the confirmation that the market will be rising. But here, the candle isn't following the same that we are analyzing it to be. Finally, in the last second, the trade become profitable. But yeah, if you see, the trade could have went in the toss in the last second or so. So for all the new traders, the name of the strategy is confrontation strategy. This is what we have been using in our trading account, and we are trying to maximize our probability of profit. Let me just watch the graph for a 5 minutes duration. Do we have a signal on this? This has been decreasing. Do we have any support level very close to this? This is the support level. I wish I could have watched it a little earlier. Let me just take one last trade of around $50. This will be acting as a risk-free trades for around 5 minutes. So guys, finally we have recovered all our amount. So I'm using the risk-free trades. And here, um, what I did, I switched the graph to higher time duration to find out the strong trend. Now the trend is very strong, and therefore we have taken the trade with the trend. Why we have given around 5 minutes duration for the closing time? Because in a minute it can vary a lot, and therefore selecting the higher time frame would be a good idea in this situation. Guys, let me know in the comment section. Do you like today's session? What are the different questions are going in your head? I will make sure that I answer all of your questions. We, as a financial analyst team, always have been happy to reach every client out and try to reach and tell them how easy the trading is. And once you know the fundamentals of trading, once you know how trading has been done, it's absolutely easy to make money. And remember, guys, I told you there is a good probability for Brent to rise. So let me just show you my trade on Brent. From in the beginning of the conversation, the trade profitability was like around how much? It was around 2,500. But here, on a single trade, the trade has become profitable. Around 10% profit is what we made using 10 as a leverage. So yeah, it is working in our favor, guys. Look into the last trade. Let's look into the last trade for today. There's this one trade we have taken on this crypto composite index. It's on a profitable front, and what you can see on my screen, the Brent has finally started becoming rising. So the best way to make money on the forex is, right, you take the trade and you wait for the market to rise, and once it start rising, you close the trade anytime if you want to. So that's the beauty of forex, right? If I want to close the trade right now, I can close it right now. And but this is not the case with the fixed time trade, right? There is absolutely no way we can able to close the trade earlier. So yeah, the beauty of forex is, like, once you are willing to take trades with the higher amount, it can be profitable for you by selecting the proper set of multiplier and holding your position. That will do the trick. So for today, we were able to generate a good amount of profit, I believe. Right? We had some considerable loss, non-profitable trades as well. So I think one, two, three, four trades were profitable. One, two, three, four trades were negative, but we were able to recover the entire losses. Let's count it. So 60, 70, 82 plus 5, which is equal to 87. And then we recovered it by like 45 plus 10, another 13, and with 93. So we recovered the entire amount with more than, I think, 40-50% profitability. And I hope this trade will also follow the same. I strongly believe it is, because it is following a very strong downtrend. So I hope the trade also becomes profitable. And for today, our trading session will be closing around close to $200. Mr. Black Mass said, "Sir, can we hold Brent trade, yes, sir, you can hold your position on Brent because there is an excellent price for the Brent to rise. So it will rise not today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, but there is a has it has a very strong potential because it is very close to the $71 per barrel, the support level. And we made sure, if we have selected a very small value of multiplier, we made sure that our trade will not close at all. So here you will see my stop loss is below the support line. So there is absolutely no chance for my trade to close at negative position. You see, my stop loss is way below this line. So I made sure my trade become profitable. So there is a buying opportunity at the moment for the Brent using the smallest value of leverage around 10. Guys, let me know in the comment section, how do you like, do you feeling this session? How do you feel about the session? If you like today's session, press the like button, subscribe to Olymp Trade Practice, because we are building this channel from the scratch and your support is what we are relying on. I always been very curious because every client situations are different and our objective of profitability never changes. So thank you very much for all of you, first of all, for being in live session with me. I'll be catching up with you into the next session, coming up with more trading ideas, because in the next week the CPI data will be released, and let me tell you, it's amazing data. CPI is one of the best data, in my opinion. I have been taking the trade on CPI from a very long time, and I strongly believe that there is a possibility for market to be on the rising front. Yep, finally the trade also become profitable and we are close to $200 profit. So thank you very much for staying up with me. My name is Akash Malhotra and I'll be signing out for today. It was lovely meeting you guys and see you into the next session. Have a great day ahead and good luck in trading.